Tulsi Giraj Maharaj ki. So Raghunath Das Goswami, he has a very beautiful dasakam. And every line ends, Nija Nikati Nivasam Dehi Goverdhan. Just give me residence very close by your side, O Giriraj. So we're sitting here just on the side of Govardhan. And today there's a very amazing darshan. You see, all Giriraj's hairs are standing on end. He's seeing all these wonderful devotees from all over the world and all over different parts of India. They're all sitting here. His hairs are standing on end to see all of you. So to put us in Braj mood, we'll sing a very beautiful Braj bhajan. You can look on your devices if you're getting signal here. And look for Braja Janamana. Somebody showed me, I didn't bring my song. Braja Janamana Sukakari. Braja Jana Mana. Who's ever in the charge of the sound system, turn the bass down and treble up. Then we won't get that woo 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 sound. The more bass is there, the more it feeds back. You got it? Sri Radhe Brajajana Mana Sukakari Radhe Shama Shama Sham
Radhe Brajajana Mana Sukakari Radhe Shama Shama Sham
Sri Radhe Brajajana Mana Sukakari Radhe Shama Shama Sham
Radhe Brajajana Mana Sukakari Radhe Shama Shama
Mor Mukutta Makara Krita Kundala Gale Vajanti Mala Charanandupura Rasala Radhe Shama 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 Oh Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. Oh Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. Shri Radhe Brajajana Mana Sukakari Radhe Shama Shama Sham Sundara Badana Kamaladala Lochana Banki Chitavana Hari Sundara
Badana Kamaladala Lochana Banki Chitavana Hari
Mohana Bamsi Vihari Radhe Shama Shama Sham Mohana Bamsi Vihari Radhe Oh Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham Oh Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham Shri Radhe, Savijan Man Sukakari Radhe, Shama Shama Shama. Vrindavan में तेनु चरावे गोपी जन मनहारी वृंदावन में तेनु चरावे गोपी जन मनहारी श्री गोवर्धन धारी राधे श्याम 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 Sri Goverdhan Radhe Shama Shama. Oh Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. Oh Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. Shri Radhe, Savijan Man Sukakari Radhe, Shama Shama Shama. Radha Krishna Miriya Bado, Gaura Rupa Avatari. Radha Krishna Miriya Bado, Gaura Rupa Avatari. Kirtana Dharma Prachari, Radhe Shama Shama Shama. Kirtana Dharma Prachari, Radhe Shama Shama. Oh Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. Oh Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. Shri Radhe, Savijan Man Sukakari Radhe, Shama Shama Shama. तुम बिना मेरे और न कोई नाम रूप अवतारी चरणन में बलिहारी राधे श्याम 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 नारायण बलिहारी राधे श्याम 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 Oh Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. Oh Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. Oh 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 Sigaraj Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Shri Radhe. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru-militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadandikam. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Panchakalpatruvishta Kipasindhuve Vacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And for Giriraj, there's a very beautiful pranam mantra. Namaste Girirajaya Sri Govardhana Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Paramananda Dahini. Everybody can repeat. Namaste Girirajaya
Namaste Girirajaya
Sri Govardhana Namine
Sri Govardhan Namine
Ashesha Klesha Nashaya
Ashesha Kesha Nashaya
Paramananda Dahini.
Paramanandayine.
I'm offering my respects to that king of all the mountains, Giriraj, whose name, Govardhana Namini, whose name is Govardhan. Ashesha, without limit. Ashesha Klesha. Klesha means troubles. He Nashaya. He destroys without limit all our troubles. And what does he replace it with? Paramananda Daine. And he gives not just Anand, but Paramanand. Very beautiful pranam mantra. So just before this area here is called Govindakun. But just before coming here, there's a small village. The name of that village is Anior. So what happened was Nanda Baba was getting a big ceremony together. So people were bringing doodh and dahi and makan and ghee and so many preparations and so many things. So Lala, he saw this going on, so he went and he said, Baba, what is this function all about, Baba? What is the yagi you're doing, Baba? And Nanda Baba, he was very busy. And little children, they ask too many questions, isn't it? So sometimes we don't pay any attention to them. Huh? Nanda Baba was very busy, so he didn't pay any attention. Then Lala became upset. He said, Baba, from outsiders you may hide something, but from family members you should never keep the truth. You should never hide things. Huh? What is this here? A, this is something according to Shastra? Or this is just a popular function? Or what is this function? What is the purpose? So Nanda Baba said, look, Lala, we're cow herders and we depend on the rains to bring nice grasses and grains for our cows. And the rains come from Indra. So we're performing this big sacrifice to satisfy Indra. And Nandanandan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, he began to preach atheism. But Baba, what is the use of doing any sacrifice? The rain falls in the ocean. Who's doing sacrifice for it to fall there? It falls on the stone. What is the use of rain on the stone? Rain will just comes automatically, Baba. You just do your work and automatically result will come. He was preaching atheism and karma mimamsa. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Huh? Just like we used to go to school programs, always they have work is worship, duty is deity. Every school I went to had this big sign. So he said, better we worship Govardhan Hill. Because Govardhan is supplying us with grasses and fruits and roots and water and so many things. Because we don't see with our material eyes, but there's water cascading down the sides of Govardhan, beautiful pools of water here and there. We should just worship the local Brahmins and Giriraj. And Nanda Baba said, okay, Lala, as you're saying, we'll do that sacrifice later. Let us do this one now. And Lala said, but Baba, it took so much time to gather all these ingredients. Let's do the Govardhan Puja now. Let's do it now. Come on, Baba. Let's do it now, Baba. So Nanda Baba, he can't resist Nanda Lala. And Nanda Lala, he told them, is what you do is you make mountains and mountains of rice. Kut means mountain. Just like we used to meet the buses at Chitrakoot Ashram. So anna, a grain, mountain. You make mountains and mountains of rice with butter and ghee on top. And you cook puris and pure ghee and samosas and kachoris. And you make paneer sabji, nice paneer from the milk. And you make sweet rice. You make lakes full of sweet rice and nectar. And you make so many. He gave a whole big long list of things that to make. Hmm? Hmm? And then you offer it all to Giriraj. And then we'll feed the local Brahmins. And then we'll feed everybody. Mahaprasad. So from that village, Anior, up to Danivartan Kun, that is Anukut Kshetra. There they made these huge mountains and mountains of baskets of puris and baskets of samosas and mountains of rice with nice butter on top flowing down and lakes full of sweet. Huge offering they made. And suddenly, Giriraj assumed another form, just like a gigantic Krishna. Because Krishna wanted to establish that Goverdhan and himself are non-different. And when Krishna saw that, when the little Krishna saw this big Krishna, he said, just see how Giriraj has appeared to accept your offerings. Did your Indra ever appear? Indra ever came to accept your offering? Just see how Giriraj is so merciful. And the little Krishna, he bowed down to the big Krishna on top of the hill, and Balaram and all the Brishbasis, they bowed down to that big Krishna. And then Giriraj made like a asan, and that big Krishna sat down. And he looked at all the bhoga that was there. And his eyes got very big. And he began to eat. And he's just a little boy, so he doesn't know what is right hand, what is left hand. He was just, so much bhoga is there, he's eating with both hands like this. After a while, he had dozens of left hands and dozens of right hands. And bloop, 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 bloop. In a very short while, he finished everything off. And he began to cry. Anior, Anior, give me more, give me more. And all the Brishbasis said, but whatever we had, we offered, there's nothing left. You please be satisfied. Anior, Anior, give me more, give me more. And Nanda Baba said, but we've offered everything, our whole stock. You please be satisfied. Anior, Anior. And Krishna himself went and he shrugged his shoulders and said, but there's nothing left. You please be satisfied. Anior, Anior. Then some Brahmins gave Krishna some beautiful tulsi manjaris, very soft, fragrant tulsi manjaris. And the little Krishna offered them to the big Krishna on top of the hill. And he took those manjaris. Triptos me, triptos me. Now I'm fully satisfied. If you ever heard on a lecture Prabhupada say that, then you can understand what full satisfaction is. Fully satisfied. As soon as he was fully satisfied, all the bhoga came back as Mahaprasad. And the Brishbasis, they fed all the Brahmins and they fed everyone, even down to the doggies, they were feeding even to the dogs. Prabhupada says they were throwing prasadam, and even it fell on the ground with great joy, they picked it up and ate it, showing that Mahaprasadam can never be contaminated. And in this way, keeping the cows in front with a big procession, they circumambulated Govardhan Hill, and thus the puja, Govardhan puja was complete. So meanwhile, Indra suddenly realized that his Abhishek didn't happen. Or excuse me, that his yajna didn't happen. And he began to throw curses at Krishna. He said, these foolish Brijbasis, they're listening to this talkative fellow. But if we see the Sanskrit from another angle, it means that whatever he speaks will always be spoken. Just like 5,000 years ago, Krishna spoke this verse. Dehinosminyata dehe komaram yavanam jara tatradi antara prapti Even 5,000 years later, we're still speaking this verse. He said he's Naradama, he's the lowest of man. But actually, if we see the Sanskrit from another view, it means that everyone goes down before him because he's the greatest. He said he's just a foolish child. But we see the Sanskrit from another way. It means that he's very innocent. In this way, whatever insult that Indra threw, by grace of Goddess Saraswati, all became praise. So then Indra, he told the Sambardika clouds, when there's a necessity to destroy the earth or the universe by water, he calls the Sambardika cloud. So he called the Sambardika clouds. He says, now I don't want you to destroy the universe, but you go to Braj and destroy the Braj and the Brishbasis and their cows. And the Sambardika clouds got a little nervous. And he said, I'll come behind riding on Airavata. You go ahead. So then all of a sudden in Braj, black clouds began to form. And cool wind began to blow. And finally it became so dark, it was almost like night. And rain began to fall. And lightning bolts were falling. And pieces of ice were falling. And after a while you couldn't tell where was highland and where was lowland. Everything was covered with water. The cows were keeping their calves under their bodies. Everybody was in great distress. When the Brishbasis are in distress, they only know one person. So they all ran to Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Mahabhaga, Gokulam, Tvanatham, Gokulam, Prabhu. What is it? Something Devana, Kupita, Bhaktavatsala. The Krishna, Krishna, oh greatly fortunate Krishna, 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 Mahabhaga. You are the Lord of Gokul. Tvanatham, Gokulam, Prabhu. And you're our Prabhu. And this demigod has become angry. Kupita means angry. He's become angry with us. Now you please save us because you're always very bhaktavatsala, very affectionate to your devotees. What is it? Chatumarasi devana kupita bhaktavatsala. That's the last line. So Krishna understood this was the work of Indra. So he decided the biggest enemy of Indra is the mountains. So he said, I'm going to destroy his pride by using his worst enemy. And he told all the Brishbasis, I'm going to lift Goverdhan hill and you all come underneath with all your cows. And Krishna took his left hand and he lifted Goverdhan hill with his left hand. Now if we're going to do some hard work, which arm will we use? So Krishna wanted to show us no trouble. With his left hand he lifted the hill. And he told, and Sanatana Goswami says, actually he lifted it with his left hand, not his finger. He lifted it with his left hand. And he invited all the Brishbasis, you please come under the hill along with your cows. And don't worry that it won't fall. Don't worry about a thing. And so all the Brishbasis, they came under the hill. And Gopal Champu, Nanda Vrindavan Champu describes an amazing thing. Because in our pictures, we just see there's just dirt underneath the hill. In our paintings. But Gopal Champu and Nanda Vrindavan Champu says they found beautiful jeweled steps going down and beautiful lakes and beautiful gardens and fruit trees and flower trees and beautiful palaces. A whole other place was there underneath the hill that they didn't even know about. And so much green grass and grains for all the cows. Everybody was very happy. And Mother Yasoda, seeing Krishna holding the hill, she became frightened. So then Krishna put the hill on his little finger. Look, Ma, it's no problem. He lifted with his left hand, but then he put it on his little pinky. Look, Ma, it's no problem. Govardhan standing there just by his own will. If he wants, he'll do a loop-de-loop. There's no problem. You don't worry, Ma. And don't worry about a thing. And Madhamangal said, actually, Maya, I'm chanting my Brahminical mantras. And by my Brahman Tejas, the hill is staying. This was a very special Leela. This was a special benediction to all the Brishbasis. Because nobody saw Krishna all of the time. In the morning, Nanda Baba and Yasoda and Rohini and the people in the house and his intimate friends, they would see him and bathe him. Then he would go out with all the Kahar boys and he'd go through the village. All the girls would run to the roof to see. And everybody in the village got to see Krishna for a few minutes as he went to the field. Then he's with the Kahar boys all day. Then he comes back through the village and everyone gets to see him again. Then he's in the house, only his intimate friends, and finally Yasoda and Rohini and Nanda, they see him, they put him to bed. Then he sneaks out and he's all night with the gopis, but nobody sees him all the time. Now, 24/7, everyone's seeing the smiling moon-like face of Krishna. And they didn't feel tired, they didn't feel hungry, they didn't feel thirsty, they didn't feel any problem. They weren't like you guys, Srimad Bhagavatam got only an hour and you just fall asleep. And they weren't sleeping even for 7 days and 7 nights. They were just relishing the moonlight face of Krishna. Nectar Devotion Prabhupada describes that actually Krishna, he saw that the gopis were nearby and his glance came over the breasts of the gopi and his hand shook a little bit. And everyone became frightened. All the Kaura boys put their sticks underneath. And Balaram smiled because he goes, there's no problem at all, But Krishna, he saw Balaram smile, he thought he understood what had happened. So like this, and Mother Yasoda, she was massaging Krishna's arm. So, oh Lala, you sure you don't want some butter or something? So, yes, everything's all right. Mother Mangal said, wait a minute, you speak for yourself, bring that makan. And finally, Indra came and he looked down and he threw his thunderbolt. Thunderbolt didn't do a thing. Not even a leaf on Goverdhan hill was affected by his torrential rains. Nothing. His thunderbolts were ineffective. Everything was ineffective. Then he realized, oops. He suddenly understood who Krishna was. So then he told the clouds, get out of here quick. We're in big trouble. Make yourself scarce. So then all the clouds went away. The sun came out. It was bright and shining. And then Krishna invited everyone to come out from underneath the hills and take all the cows. And all the cows came out, but they all ran back because they couldn't, the cows, they couldn't get away from Krishna. And then Krishna, he made some signal at the cows and they all ran out from underneath the hill. Then he set the hill down, right where it was before, and now he became known as Giridhari. Oh, Giriraj, Adayana ki jai. So then Krishna invited them all. Now you please go home, and everything is all right. And they saw that nothing was hurt at all. There's no damage from the rain or anything. It's like we're reading every day in the paper. Everywhere there's floods and so much damage. Not even a leaf was harmed on Govardhan or in Braj. So then next day, Krishna, he came with all the cowherd boys and the cows, and he was doing inspection tour. Just like as soon as there's a tsunami or a big flood, then they see him flies in on his helicopter. Yet charity shrestha. They're following Krishna. So Krishna was doing his inspection tour. And they were going around the hill. And suddenly, meanwhile, we're getting a little ahead. Meanwhile, back in Indraloka, Indra came back to his palace and he sat in his throne and he was looking very worried. And he didn't come home, he didn't eat, he didn't come to sleep, he didn't talk with Indrani. He was just sitting there looking very worried. Now there's nothing that drives the woman more crazy than when the husband becomes quiet. Now, there's nothing that drives the man more crazy than the woman doesn't stop talking. But there's a secret here. We'll give sociology class for 2 minutes. Because when a woman has a problem, she talks about it. And it's a scientifically proven fact that by talking about their problems, they produce a certain hormone that makes them feel happy. Now, a man, if I have a problem, I say, my program is not working properly. Oh, yeah, just do this. Oh, thanks. I want a solution. She doesn't want a solution. She just wants you to hear. You give the solution. She says, but you're not listening to me. I'm listening. I gave you the solution. You're not listening to me. And if you want to have a big fight, these 3 words or 4 words, what is it? It's not so bad. She feels bad. Now you're negating her feelings. She has no right to feel bad. You just listen to her. Don't interrupt. Don't give a solution, because there isn't easy. What are we going to do? There's no solution to the problems. She just wants you to listen. You listen carefully. You sympathize with her. Then she'll love you like anything. Now, when a man has a problem, he can't go to his wife. He's a man. He's got to solve the problem himself. And women are very intuitive. They know that he's got a problem, and he's very quiet. It drives them nuts. So then the wife comes, honey, what's the matter? Will you leave me alone? So when the man becomes quiet, this is a trick. When the man becomes quiet, just leave him alone. He'll solve the problem. You didn't bother him, so he'll love you like anything. So those of you who are too far along, now you know what went wrong. Those of you who are starting out, now you know some tricks. So Indrani, she knew he's got a problem, but she doesn't want to go near. So she went to Brihaspati. She can't go, but Guru can go. She went to Brihaspati. I don't know, he doesn't talk, he doesn't eat, he doesn't sleep, he doesn't come home. The Brihaspati went there. When he told Brihaspati the problem, he said, now you've really blown. I don't know what to do. We have to go see Brahma. So they went Brahmaloka. And Indra was embarrassed to explain what happened. Finally, somehow he explained. And Brahma said, now you've really blown it. Krishna won't even see you from the corner of 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 his eye. So best thing is you take shelter of Surbi. Because she's the auntie of Lord Indra. She's a daughter of Aditi. So she's the auntie of Lord Indra. So you go see Surabhi, because she's a Vaishnavi and she's a cow. And Krishna, he likes Vaishnavas and cows. And only the Vaishnavas can change the heart of Krishna, can affect his heart. So this is our position. We're great offenders, but we've taken shelter of a devotee. And we see in all of Prabhupada's letters, he writes, so he went, there's a Surbi Loka inside this material world. He went there and got Mother Surbi, and she came along with Indra. Indra came down to the earth riding on his Airavata. Airavata, he's huge, enormous, and not just one trunk, but many trunks. And all the cows, you see the cows, their ears hang down like this, right? They took one look at that elephant, their ears went, whoop. Their eyes are so big and brown, so lovely. Huh? They got even bigger. And all the cows looked, and immediately, boom, they all ran. Live in big cities, you never see it. They kick backwards. They put their tails in the sky. First of all, danger, danger. They put their tails up in the sky, and they kick backwards as they run. Bing, bing, bing. So all the cows ran, and all the cowherd boys ran after the cows. And Indra, he got down off the elephant. He paid his obeisances in dust. The king of heaven was paying his obeisances in the dust. And Krishna didn't even look at him from the corner. Then he went to Surbi. He said, quick, you do something. I'm really in trouble. So other side of this hill is Surbi Kund. So there Surbi said, Indra, he got a little puffed up. You don't like pride in your devotees. But actually like the children. They do so many nonsense things. His parents yell at them, but still they love them. They always forgive them. You should forgive him. He's your devotee. You don't like pride in your devotee. You smashed his pride. He's sorry now. Huh? So then and Airavata went off to the celestial world, and he brought water from the Akash Ganga, not from this Ganga here where sinful people like you and me are bathing, but he took from the Akash Ganga. He brought water, began to bathe Krishna, and they performed this big abhishek. And all the Brahmins were chanting, and the Gandharvas were singing beautiful songs, musical instruments. And then all the Apsaras came. They were trained up by Indraduna Maharaj, and they were dancing very nicely. And all the demigods, Lord Brahma came, Lord Shiva came, all the demigods came. It describes how the seven rishis came, many planets. But just at that moment, the moon came. And those who've been on Prikka with me, the friend of the moon, the lotus flower is the sun. So all the lotuses closed up, and the Saptarishis were looking like this. Flowers again bloomed, and they were able to offer beautiful lotus flowers to Krishna. And a whole beautiful Abhishek was performed. Uh, uh, and then they offered Krishna some beautiful dry cloth, beautiful yellow dhoti, and beautiful cloth, all brand new cloth for him. And then Indra took a crown and he crowned Krishna as Govinda. Jiva Goswami explains the meaning. Just like you've probably heard, just like in the Loy Bazaar, there's one devotee, Gangotri. That owner's name is Narendra. Nar-Indra, the Indra amongst, so Narendra. Or just like Yoginder, the Indra amongst the gopis, the yogis. Mahinder. So Govinda, the king of the cows. The secret meaning is all the demigods live in the body of Krishna becomes king of the cow, he becomes king of Indra and all the demigods automatically. So he crowned him as Govinda. Till then he was known as Gopal. From this time he was known as Govinda. And anybody who takes some of this water formed in this lake here called Govinda Kund, you get Govinda Prem. So, well, all the cowherd boys came back. Oh no, wait a minute, one more thing. So then they performed Artik ceremony. The Brahmins were chanting all the Purusha Shukta, Sahasra Sirsa Purusha, in perfect rhyme and meter, and it was going on nicely like this. Artik paraphernalia with gold and silver, encrusted with jewels and emeralds and diamonds, and peacock fans encrusted with pearls, and beautiful, opulent Artik paraphernalia. And Krishna was sitting there like this. So all the demigods were. So then they paid their obeisances and they all left. Cows, after they calmed them down and brought them back, and they saw Krishna opulent Artik paraphernalia. So the cow, and they weren't even singing Vedic mantras in perfect time. They were Brishbazi songs. Arati Kunja Bihari Ki Sigiri Dari Krishna Murari. Krishna was just laughing and laughing and laughing. And all the demigods were up in the clouds and they looked down and said, we don't even have a whiff of love for Krishna like these Brishbasis. Krishna was just officially accepting. Just like they build a new flyover in the city, and then the mayor comes, he'd rather be somewhere else. Smile, for all the cameras, click, 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 click. He cuts the ribbon or whatever. So that's just official, no love ceremony. But these Brishbasis, they're actually offering, Krishna is actually accepting the offering of these Brishbasis. Baba and all the elder Brishbasis appeared on the scene because they heard something strange is going on Goverdhan Hill. He said, first he's stealing butter and yogurt, now what's he up to? And they all came, and then the Baba, he said, where did you get all this? And the cover boys, well, Baba, it was just here, we just found it. Yeah, right, you just found all this gold and silver, pearl and diamond. And then Mother Manga said, no, Baba, they don't know, Baba. I saw everything, Baba. This elephant, not just one trunk, Baba, but many, many trunks. May such Bolruvan, Jutni Bolruvan, not telling a lie. It's crossed my heart, hope to die. And all the cows, I'm lame, I couldn't run, I was sitting here. I saw everything, Baba. They didn't see, Baba. They don't know, Baba. And then this guy got off of the elephant. Baba, he had eyes all over his whole body, Baba. Such bull, jhoot nahi bol raha hu, Baba. I'm not telling a lie. Huh? And then this cow came, Baba. Because that fellow with all the eyes, he paid his obeisance, and Krishna didn't even look at him. And then this cow came, Baba. Baba, I never saw a cow like that, Baba. And they came here. And then the elephant went up in the sky somewhere and brought back this amazing water. They began to bathe Krishna. And that cow, she began to bathe Krishna. Then Baba, such Bolram, Baba, Jutne Bolram, Tatsalinga Lai, Baba. This guy came with 4 heads, Baba, 4 heads. This guy came with 5 heads, Baba, and this big snake on his neck. And all these people came, Baba, and they were playing instruments. Baba, I never saw instruments like those, Baba. And these guys were singing. I never heard songs like that, Baba. Then these girls came, Baba. Oh, Baba, I never saw. And they were dancing, Baba. Then they gave Lala some new cloth. And then that guy with all the eyes. Huh? And suddenly a voice came from the sky, just like thunder. Nanda, now you crown Krishna as Govinda. So Nanda Baba took that crown. That was the official one. This is the real one, Govinda. Monarch of the cows, monarch of Indra and everyone. And this water, Abhishek water, whoever takes some on his head, somebody's splashing. This is they made the sitting place of Madhavinda Puri. Because you remember in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhavinda Puri came to Goverdhan and he did and he came here to Govindakund. Madhavinda Puri, his rule was that if somebody invited him to eat, he ate. If they didn't get the invitation, he didn't eat. Huh? Not like us. We're always saying, what's wrong with the management? Huh? If somebody invited him, he ate. If he didn't get an invitation, he didn't eat. So he was just sitting here. And this little cower boy said, Baba, Baba, what are you doing, Baba? Nobody in my village fasts. Everybody has plenty to eat. If they don't, they beg from others and eat. And everybody said, how'd you know I was here? I said, the ladies went to milk the cows. They saw you here. They sent this milk for you. Gone. And he had this pot of milk and he offered it to Krishna. And he tasted this milk. Even without any honey or jaggery or anything. So, and the boy told him, I'll come later for my pot. Huh? And he sat there looking at the path, but that boy never came. 3 hours of the morning, he nodded out. In his dream, he saw that boy came before him. Said, Madhavinda Puri, Madhas. Somebody told the Pujari, some Muslim soldiers are coming, hide your deity and flee. So they threw me in the bushes and my Pujari never returned. I don't know what happened. I'm here in the cold, in the heat, in the rain, everything. Please get me out. And then his dream broke. Then Madhavindra Puri went to Anyor. He appeared, and taking all their cutting instruments and digging instruments, they cut through the brambles, and they saw this beautiful deity of Gopal with his left hand raised high, his 2 eyes just like the moon on the next Ekadasi night. You'll see the moon just like this, and his hand on the deity of Gopal. And they took him on top of the hill. Way down, you see that big white building. That's the temple of Srinathji. Because at that time, they just leaned him up against the rock. They brought some Brahmins. They began to cook. They made an Annakut festival. Everyone heard that the Lord of Giriraj has appeared. So next, every day, one village would come with 100 Brahmins and cook another Annakut. Every day it was going on like this. Some rich merchants built a small temple, and like this it was going on. And then we know that goes way out of Braj, the rest of the Leela, we don't have time for that. Just a couple of months ago, Jayapataka Maharaj's disciples have put Lord Chaitanya's lotus footprints there. So we're sitting here on the side of Govardhan, so many Govindakund Brahmins. Here's my friend Okay, yeah. Uh, Along the way, we're going to go to Punchri. Along the way, you'll see a temple on top of the hill. Now, Mahaprabhu, he never went on top of the hill. But other sampradayas may go. But anyway, we're following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So down the way, there's a little color we see this side. Pink. Uh, this is Doka Dauji. Because in the same Sant Ras, this springtime Ras Leela, just like now in this Sarat season, the Rasa Leela is going on in Vrindavan town. In the springtime, it's on the side of Goverdhan. And Dauji, he was on top of the hill and he looked upper that the older brother be there when the younger brother's with all his girlfriends. But he couldn't take his eyes away, so he ducked down. So you'll see Doka Dauji's temple there. On the just below it, we'll see Balaram's mukit is melted into the stone there. We'll see that's down below. You can see that, and then we'll go on.